what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what is your personal study blueprint for 2022?
People have been asking me, so please write this down. 200 pages per 200 charts, 200 charts reviewed per day. That's in all markets. So I want you guys to look at angel markets, seed stage companies. I want you to look at publicly traded companies, crypto, and then for those of you in Red Panda, futures. You have to do at least 20 pages per day. I would argue 100, and here's why. Between Web3, DeFi, quantitative easing, elections, the world is going to change really fast in the next 14, 15 months. Like, for all my entrepreneurs, please listen to me. Now is not the time to play. Like that being silent and all the victories will go to those who are quiet in this era. That is true. Anybody that I know with a high net worth, they're going off the grid like crazy and focusing more than ever because the landscape is going to feel like we have gone through 10 years of technological change in 2 years. So when DeFi comes, Web3 comes, and Jack and everybody, Andreessen keeps arguing, change is going to happen so fast. If you hesitate, you're going to look up in a year and a half and be like, damn, I missed out on every opportunity. So if you feel like you had FOMO in 2020 from not investing, if you are not studying and on top of your business, it's going to feel like you missed 4 of those in 1 year. So I'm telling you, 200 charts a day, study every market, top to bottom, asteroid mining, cellular regeneration. Thank you for those of you that sent me the show Silent Sea on Netflix. It talks about water conservation and water running out. When we talked about that ad nauseum next year. I put it on IG last week, but don't be surprised when we see pterodactyls starting to float around in California in 3 or 4 years. And technically,
the egg they found?
China, they've had it since 2000.
Yeah.
And
you posted it too.
Yeah, and then a pterodactyl is technically just a reptile. It's not a dinosaur. And then between the pyramids and Atlantis and all this other stuff being discovered, they're going to probably announce in maybe 3 years that there are other continents out there besides the ones that we know of. I'm telling you, the world is going to change really fast. And I know I feel like y'all listen to Alex Jones, but this is Market Mondays. I promise you. I have not led you wrong thus far. The world is going to change really fast. Please be on top of your game. Like there's probably maybe 80 books that I've gotten that I'm ready to go through this quarter that are going to be incredibly impactful. And you see the look on Rashad's face. Rashad, like, I ain't doing no talking points. Run it up. Super focused. That's why, like, my energy. I know some of you like, don't get upset. I'm like, it's not that I'm upset. For those of you that are black and brown, now is not the time to play.
No.
2020, that's why we kept everything cool. We weren't extra flashy. Came in, got you some wins, right? Now it's back to that kind of grind mode because now some of you who are listening that are really into this. Corey, Chad, Pierre, Dom, Drew Dream Team, like Smalls, Mike. Some of you are going to be able to make 10, Abdullah. Some of you are going to be able to make 10 to $100 million over these next 10, 15 years off the investments you place in the first 3 years of this decade.
Yeah.
You notice Mark Cuban, even those that have been on the show, CEO of Robinhood, Chamath, even Kathy is talking less because she's understood that talking does not give you more alpha in your portfolio, right? All the sharks that are incredible. Bonawyn, I keep telling you guys, Bonawyn is probably the greatest out of all of us. You barely see Bonawyn talk anymore. He just smile and be happy, unlike my angry ass, right? And just dominate the markets. You see people that have historically talked a lot, they are recessing because they understand now this is game 6 and game 7. It is not time to play. I want this to be my recorded and written testimony of this because in 4 years I want to come back and and let you guys know. So for everybody in Red Panda and all the earners, please focus in, less talking, no debating, because everybody is still debating to keep you from becoming financially free.
Sure.
And they want you to be illiquid. Be mindful.
Public service announcement. 10,000 people on the check-in on YouTube.
Oh man, where's my horn at?
Let's definitely reach
The angriest work, Shotty. I don't know. What we doing?
He said, can you go to
Nah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Oh. Yo, I just had this conversation, Ian. That's interesting. If people, and I'm gonna ask you this hypothetically, right? If people are not executing on the information, right? They weren't listening in 2020. They didn't execute it in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously know the billionaires have even more assets now. We know that more millionaires are made. They're not executing. How much time? What's the time frame for us? Like, you know what? This is it. The boat is left and you're still on the shore.
I'm gonna be real. If you're Black, I'm gonna speak specifically to us. If you're not investing actively, why don't you love yourself or your family enough to do so? Because we're already behind. And I'm not playing a racial anything. I'm not, but you really have maybe 24 months. Because when automation, I keep saying it, when automation kicks in, and even for me, I'm looking after I got sick, I'm like, do I have enough content to last me 5 years if I was sick for 5 years? No. Okay, great. I need enough content for 5 years. I need to automate everything so we can just breathe, right? Shadi said something at the end of this year that people have been telling me, less access. Great. Everybody out, shout out Kevin Hart, let's access, get more done. I'm sure they talked to Puff or somebody today, like, yo, Playboy, less, you know what I mean? So shout out Diddy. You got to automate more. I need you for the soundtrack, big executive producer. But take that. Your ears legendary. But if you're not automating and you don't have a business of your own, and we'll talk about it later, but the most important investment decision that you guys are going to make these next 12 months is what business are you going to build in an industry that is ripe for disruption, such as healthcare, such as payment processing. I think the biggest tech startup on earth will be a education-based, non-teacher union-based platform that teaches kids from 2 to 17 everything they need to know in 2 hours after school. Have you guys noticed that reading and comprehension levels for kids have dropped considerably in the last year and a half? And for my teachers, there's a lot of roadblocks thrown in your way, even from some of the advancements that you want to help give your kids. Who owns, or who do we owe most of our debt to, and who will put these initiatives in place to stop us from teaching our kids everything that they need to know? Be mindful. I'm going to start teaching you guys how to think about how to truly be an investor. And I'll say this one time, and I posted it last week. Black creators, I want you to be very careful as you launch your NFT projects. Very careful. Because what's going to happen is when this bubble pops, because you don't have the liquidity, nor the assets, nor the backing, or the solvency to be able to protect the constituents of the people that buy your NFTs, they're going to say you guys were running Ponzi schemes. And they're going to try and come put charges on you. It doesn't matter that the royal mayonnaise apes, dolphin whales did the same thing, right? Because you don't know who their backing comes from. But if you launch your NFT at a high price and they don't go well, at some point they're going to argue what you were selling was a security and you broke securities laws. Please be mindful of these things in 2022 as you guys are trying to get the bag. I got to show you all parts of the game. The scoring part is cool, but the defense, as my dad tells me all the time, protect yourself at all times, is more important than anything. Be mindful.
Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Your boy going up. I know they can't stand.